Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Today I'm taking a look at an expansion to Trails of Tucana, which is this right here. It's called Expansion Ferry. This is the rule book, I guess, the rule leaflet. And it's going to come with this sheet, shrink wrapped to 2 pads of sheets. These 2 right here. That's the whole thing. So again, this is a very small expansion. It's not even a boxed expansion. It's just this and the sheet. Boom, there you go. So what comes in here? Well, one of these pads is a replica of the one that came in the original game. Okay, so if you've run out of sheets or you're getting close, then you get a whole other pad with double-sided, just like the original one, with the small island and the large island on the back of those. So that's very nice. You get another pad. But what's new here? Well, there's a pad here which is new, and it has a couple of new ideas on it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how the game looks on the table. I'll give you an idea of what's happening on here. We'll come on back. I'll give you some thoughts on this. So in this Ferry expansion, you are going to get 2 new pads of sheets. You're going to get one pad, which is identical to the original one that came in the game, with the small island on this side, the larger island on the backs of the sheets. Same number of sheets, so it's basically a refill pack for what came before. The other one, which is really the new game content, is this one right here. It also has 2 sheets. It also considers one to be a small one and one to be a large one, with this, like the small one, happening over 2 rounds, and this one, like the large one, happening over 3 rounds. So the new things to be found on these is, those things are the Ferry, as you can see here, and they're going to be featured on both sides, on both islands. The ferries have their own line over here, so they also count as a site. When you connect to one, you will circle the appropriate circle. And connecting to these means going, say, from that village there. Connecting to it means you've now connected. You can do that on either side of this line. And the ferry already counts as a connection pre-printed on the board between these 2 tiles. Meaning a connection between this village and there is already connected to here, and so one from here to here connects these 2 villages, okay? So those are going to let you get around more easily, especially on the outside of the board. However, you will notice that the first 2 times you connect to them, you're going to get some points, not many, 2 points. The second one you connect to is going to be 1 point, and then after that, they will cost you victory points. Though you do get a little road here at the end at least. So you do lose those 5 points there, but you get a little something. So those, again, let you get around. You'll also see that the scoring for the different connections has really been kind of jumbled up a little bit. Before, you had points, and then you had points and a road for the second one connected. Now those things have been mixed around. For example, the book here, you're going to get a road for the first one. No points at all. And then 4 points for the second. There's one more toucan here, so you're going to get a road for the middle one, and so on. Some things are just kind of, again, mixed around. On the back of this, and this is, again, the simpler of the 2, so on the back of this, we got a little bit more interest, a little more complexity, if you would. You have on the board, again, this is all jumbled up. Same deal with the ferries here. More symbols, of course, 4 toucans on this one. But then you've also got some pre-printed cities on the board, which are this one here, the M and the S, which they have silly names. What are they? Let's see. We've got Northville. We've got Southbury, and Middleton. There we go. So basically north, middle, south for these 3. As you connect to those, you will also count something as having been seen and explored. I could take the toucan 1, 2, boom, and now it's connected to a village. Those count. But also, if you connect them to each other, say middle to the north one or middle to the south one, you're going to get some points and a road as well. So you're getting bonuses for that, not just for connecting the 2 matching ones that have been written around the board. You're playing 3 rounds, like I said, so same thing as on the Grande side of these. Same thing, 3 rounds, as you can see right there. So, yeah, it's the same idea. Ferries connecting to things. It just has those 3 pre-printed villages to mess with your scoring a little bit, to allow you to connect to them instead of the ones you write in. And if you manage to pull off these connections, you're going to get a whole bunch of points as well, and a bonus row. So there you go. That's pretty much the crux of it, the idea of it. Everything else is really the same. You're still using the same deck of cards, using the same bonuses. Everything else stays as it was. So like I already said, I think the duplicate pad, just like the original one in the box, is fine. Having more of what was already in there, cool, no problem. I like it. Thank you very much. The new one. I think the new one doesn't really add enough to warrant calling this an expansion almost. And again, there's a fine line there between, you pay a few bucks, you get a refill pack, and hey, we'll throw in an extra pad for you. From that point of view, that's fine. That's solid. I mean, I like this game a lot. I'm happy to have more of it to play. I do, however, feel a little disappointed that the expansion is just a very small tweak on the original pad, on the original idea. The bonuses are a little mixed up, right? And then the fairies, the namesake of the expansion here, are okay. It's a fairly minor thing. It doesn't really shake up the game for me that much. I think the one on the back is slightly more interesting with the 3 islands or villages or whatever already there. That's a little bit better. There's a little more there, but it's still, I was hoping for some shakeups in the system here. I was hoping for, there's a new pad. There's going to be some crazy stuff on it that's really going to change this up. And it just doesn't. Not enough. So I find this one to be a little ho-hum. I find it to be perhaps too by the numbers. I feel like it could have pushed the envelope a little bit more, been a little more interesting, a little more different from the original one, and therefore presented clever and engaging ideas. I feel like, in my personal opinion, the Ferry wasn't enough to do that. It's okay. It's a nice way to bridge some things and get a little farther out. But I almost wish at that point then that this was, instead of one single island, how about an archipelago, like various islands connected by these ferries. Something. This feels very mundane, I guess, expecting it to be something, a refresh, and it really isn't. But even though I sound like I'm coming down hard on it, I'm not. I'm just not blown away. But I'm happy to have more content for this game. I think Trails of Tucana is a fantastic little flip and write style game. One that I would certainly recommend if you've never played it. And if you find yourself playing it and enjoying it a lot, hey, you need more sheets, you can get more of these. And they'll throw in some extra little twists on there for you. But I definitely would not recommend you pick this up and this little ferry expansion. Just get this. I think you're really going to enjoy this, okay? Then if you need it, you can go ahead and pick up that pad. So as it is, while I very much like the original game, I think for Ferry here, I'm just giving this one a 6 out of 10. That means pleasant. I like it. Again, I would recommend it in the right circumstance, i.e. you've played the core a lot and need more sheets. But I would not go out of my way to pick this up or to even say, oh, you're buying the game, make sure you get this over here too. All right? So there you go, 6 out of 10, folks. And that's it for me. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate that. I'll see you on the next one.